What's up, people? Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's been a good week for the Chelsea Blues. They do have another pretty tough fixture on the morrow. And of course, Man City, goalless, scoreless at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're certainly hoping that does not continue. But we will, of course, get into that. Let's go ahead and get them likes up on the video right out the rip. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are, of course, on our way to 200 subscribers. And if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and get the likes up and get the notification bell on, of course. All right, here we go. We've smashed. You've smashed, I should say. I don't know what I just said.
I was about to say,
there's a week.
No. I'm gonna put myself down. I'm gonna put myself down here for that one. You get relegated to the bottom after that comment.
Oof.
Yeah, Palmer with some open play goals.
Hey, the second one I loved.
Yeah, same.
I love the second goal from him.
Yep.
I'll let you go first, X.
First 20, thought we were giving it a go. I thought we came out hot. I liked it. The scoreline, I thought we needed one a little earlier to get going. I wanted one a little earlier just to level this game up. But once the second goal was conceded, it was immediately, it felt like they completely gave up. And they looked worse than the league they actually play in. Like, no one tried. No one cared. No one tried.
I'm shocked at the tactics.
Yeah.
I mean,
Carrick didn't get it right.
No.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, why did you not do what you did at home?
But to be fair, we missed like 5 chances.
Oh yeah. So it could have easily, Cole missed 2 sitters. That game should have been out of hand as well.
But I still expected low block FC.
I think Carrick was like, if I can get a goal early, I'll just sit back and absorb.
But he had a goal already. Like, you already did that bit.
Well, no, but I think he expected us to at least score one. So they seemed very aggressive early on.
Mm-hmm.
And then
once we
scored, they kind of pulled back a little bit, but they were still kind of pushing a little bit. Then we scored a second goal, and then it was like
once Broja got his give me goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gave you 2 or 3 goals there. Trying to play from the back.
Gave us the second. Gave us Palmer's goal, same thing, playing it straight out to a defender who's already marked in a press. Schoolyard stuff. Schoolyard.
And that was at 4-0.
Right.
Or 3-0, whatever.
Madueke just walks one in.
Yeah.
I love the sassy bombing forward.
Everything.
Started the play. He's like, if I'm gonna start this run, I'm gonna finish this run.
Talk about a fox in the box. Didn't you say that, Patrick?
Yeah.
That made me laugh. That definitely made me laugh. I mean, I'm over here going, man, we could use some goal scoring talent like that. I mean, no, we got a goal scoring center back.
Gabrielle, what are you talking about?
We needed this. We needed this really bad. We needed, like Patrick said on last week, he wanted 3, or it wasn't a win. We needed this a lot going into Villa, going into Pool, going into Wembley against Liverpool again. Like we already.
Well, you got a month or so to work to.
February.
It's honestly one of those. It's one of those bittersweet moments. Like we get to have a crack at getting one of those back that they stole from us. And it was stolen from us. It wasn't saying like. And I say stole because it was up for grabs in every one of those finals. It was up for grabs. They were good games. We played very
Weren't
solid.
both of them penalties?
Yes.
Questionable calls to take off goals for Chelsea.
Yes.
Like very questionable calls.
Yes. So
that's about par for the course.
Yeah, we get another crack at it. So I'm excited.
Taylor was involved at some point.
Of course.
Yep. So I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited to go back to Wembley. I'm excited to hopefully take home the title. It'll mean a lot to this young squad to really kind of bolster themselves behind. It'll mean a lot to Pochettino moving forward with the confidence. If we can go further in the FA, and I mean, if we can secure the FA, it takes a whole lot of breath out of the season, and we don't have to worry about all these injuries. And because I don't think we're shooting for champions anyway. I think we want Europa. So if we can,
I think Europe is the goal. Champions
I think
League,
he like
not much.
unplugged his mic a little bit. Are you like all the way plugged in? You sound really weird, X.
what?
There he is.
I mean, this might be here. Hang on.
You sounded like Darth Vader for a second there. It was awesome.
Can change the here.
There he is.
Here.
Yeah, you sound great now. Vader's gone.
Here we go. So yeah, it was I think Europe's the goal, and I think like I said, if we can win this title, it can kind of carry us into hopes of carrying deeper into the FA and standing up against these tops. We can show up in tournaments. We've always been we've done well in tournaments. Our history is backed by tournaments. So and it takes like I was saying, it takes a whole lot of weight out of the season because if we can secure Europe, we can allow the boys to get healthy, and finishing 10th or 8th wouldn't be that bad.
Well, see, speaking of doing well in tournaments, I'll have to find the graphic. I think I saw it on Twitter. Chelsea in the last, I think 10 years have been in 18 finals.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't have 18 trophies.
No,
it's I want to say y'all were in 6, maybe. I want to say something like that. It was insane. Like it was Chelsea and then everybody else below them. But I mean, if you think about it, you had maybe 2 Europa finals in there.
We were in one of those.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But
I don't want to. I try not to.
We watched that together.
that was Eden's last game as a Chelsea player.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game where everyone's like, why in the absolute are two teams from a mile away from each other going halfway across the Europe?
Yep. Just have it at Wembley at that point.
Just have it. Yeah. Let's just play at the Spurs stadium so it's neutral.
So it is neutral.
And no one wants to be there anyway, so it definitely won't go to overtime. We'll make sure someone wins so we can get that fat out of there.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, Arsenal have won 3 FA Cups in that 10-year period, though, by the way. Just throwing that in there.
I thought I sent it to you, but I didn't.
Arsenal haven't won the League Cup in like 30 years.
Really?
No one cares.
No, like it's actually longer than that. It's before. I think we won the League Cup like in '88 or something.
So it's the energy drink special now. It was the
Carling.
It was Carling Cup for a long time,
and then
it was something else at one point too.
Yeah. Because wasn't Carlsberg
idea.
the main sponsor for that?
No, you're still thinking Carling.
Okay, that was the Carling.
Yeah. That's the first thing I remember it as is the Carling Cup.
Well, you have to remember Chelsea actually brought Carabao to the Premier League as a sponsor.
Really?
Yeah, we had it on our training kits for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Good for the Carabao, I guess.
Yeah, when they became a sponsor, everybody's like, "Huh? What? What are you talking about?" They're like, "Yeah, it's an energy drink from Asia or something." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Love our Asian sponsors.
I wonder if it's any good.
Our main beer sponsor is Asian.
What is it?
It's
Signa?
Singapore. It's Signa.
Yeah.
I've never had it. I've had Sapporo, which is like the it's like the Budweiser of the East.
Huh.
It's like super popular. I
Um,
think it's Japanese though. But yeah, I think I was very shocked that Middlesborough like didn't just sit in and try to pack the box. They
I thought it was gonna be a super part. Like
yeah, I expected it to actually be a game. Like you remember me in the chat. I even said, "Well, this game sucks."
Oh yeah. After that second goal went in, it was just have a day.
Yeah, I mean, I was very honestly, you know me. I'm a bit of an a-hole. I wanted carnage.
Yeah.
I wanted to see some tears and see if Poch made it to today. If Poch was still here tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, bro.
I was like, oh, wow.
That's the volatile nature of being a manager at Chelsea. It always has been. It can go from top of the mountain to you're
So
absolutely ran out.
It's like you kind of turned it around a little bit. You've had a good run in the league. You're undefeated in the last 4 or 5 at home. But still, if this would have gone south,
Oh yeah, it would have been bad.
would have been sketchy for sure. And I mean, and you could even see that Poch was feeling the pressure
Yeah.
because I don't even think he celebrated a single goal. It's probably just relief. I don't think they panned to him like after the 3rd goal, and he still was just mean mugging because I think he was probably like, it's about effing time. Like, oh,
He's got it right, and I'm shocked because my man Mud Dog was playing in the middle of the field for like ever.
yeah, he didn't do much.
No,
Yeah, that was weird.
he's not a midfield. He's not a middle of the field kind of guy.
Well, I mean, literally, it's kind of crazy to me, but literally, anytime James or Chilwell is healthy and able to play, you revert to this like wing back stuff where Chilwell is like your winger, but on the other side, it was so weird because it was Disassi.
Yeah.
And so the way, and you do different things on either side.
Yeah.
So the player that is staying wide is different. So on the right-hand side, it was Sterling. The winger was staying wide. But on the left-hand side, Mud Dog was tucking.
Yeah.
It was very weird the way they did that, but just to accommodate the fact that Chile bombs forward.
Well, and it's funny because like Chile doesn't have to do that. It's not like his main deployment. He doesn't. Yes,
Apparently not. Apparently he does.
I do value him up top. He does give a good ball in. He does possess the ball on the outside with given space, and I think he's only scored like 4 goals, but like he's not a goal scorer, but he is a good provider and a playmaker up there. It's just hard because you expect both. It's the imbalance of what you're talking about on our field, and that's how teams end up beating us when we're unbalanced.
That's what Boro did. They attacked that side in the first game.
All you have to do is just attack
in behind that all day, and it was very successful. But what it did in this game was that Mud Dog had no clue.
No,
he didn't know what to do.
And that's kind of my biggest takeaway for the game. If I have any negatives for it, like we won 6-1. It's I wouldn't say it's expected to win by that much. This is an expected win to be at home.
Right.
But with that being said, I felt like we got some things wrong in this game. It's not like, oh, I'm going to sit here and praise everything is fine. We did get some things wrong in this game, and I don't think Mud Dog needs to be playing. Mudryk just doesn't need to be playing in the middle of the field. He can't utilize his speed. He's not going to beat his man off one touch. He needs his space.
It's like you said. It's when Chile should stay home.
And it is. And you can't expect him to play defense. He's going to make a mistake. It's going to cost us deeply because he is. I'm not saying he doesn't have the work rate to do it. He will get back. He does listen and follow his deployment very well. He's just not a tackler. If you allow him to get one-on-one with two, getting beat by one of these guys, it's not going to be pretty. And then we're going to lose a winger or have him on a yellow. It's just not going to be good, man. So, but Disasi did the exact same thing of what we expected him to do, right? Like we want to criticize this, but he shows up in the box and he finishes. That's what that position is supposed to do. Reece James shows up in the box, he's supposed to finish. Chilwell shows up in the box like that, even on the other side, he's supposed to finish that. He's supposed to our wingers are built to be that extra man, so when they do have that space in the box, they put it away. And he did his job. Like that system worked. That's how we got the go-ahead death nail goal to move.
I guess it's just odd to see that.
It is.
I think Sterling can probably handle it a bit better than Mud Dog.
I agree.
And probably like Madueke, if it was Sterling and Broja or whatever, or Jackson or whatever, and then Madueke on the other side, I think he might be able to tuck in easier. But it all depends on if you have James or not.
Right. Which just don't bank on James. I don't think that's a viable option for a while.
You think so, Phil? We'll definitely get to that. I'm hoping Man City win. We'll get to that in a bit, of course. But Chelsea also play tomorrow.
Yes.
At home to the villains.
Bro, we need this so bad. Let's go.
That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough game, despite the fact that Aston Villa are not great away from home this season.
So glad it's at the Bridge.
But oh yeah, for sure. But I think they'll bring it. They've had a nice break. Just like Arsenal have been sitting on the sidelines. It feels like we've played once in like 3 weeks. It's rough. I think Villa are the same. And so they've had lots of rest. They've already won at Stamford Bridge this season, though, haven't they?
1-0.
The 1-0.
That was when Gusto got the red card and they finally.
Yeah.
They had no business winning that game, by the way.
No.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, are we thinking it's same lineup, same approach?
You have to be. I mean, Gusto's still out, but they were in training today. Same with Nkunku. I don't think anybody's back from injury. So yeah, I don't see how it's not the same lineup.
Same tactics? Mud Dog tucking and Sterling staying wide?
I'm interested to actually see if they might do something with Carney. Because he actually played the last game.
Yeah, he did. I saw that. You know what I want to see though? I want to see someone attack Villa's high line.
If you think about it though, and I pointed this out, we had deep runners against that high line against Boro. I'm saying it right now because it's not Boro. I learned it's Boro.
Boro.
But Enzo was making that deep run, and
but that's not who you need making deep runs. Palmer should be making that deep run. He's got way more speed. You need somebody that has the speed to run in behind because Nico Jackson ain't there.
See, and I think Connor starts in the Villa game.
Well, yeah, I think he starts for sure.
I think Connor starts in the Villa game. Mudryk hits the bench.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Why Connor was sat. I think that was the one. I think that is the only reason Connor was sat.
So Palmer will play left wing?
Yes. Or yes.
Or Sterling will play left and Palmer will be right.
It'll be Palmer, Sterling, Broja, Connor, Caicedo, Enzo, back line. Exactly.
My thing is, can't you get someone quicker than Broja to be on the last man? To be,
Who? They're all on crutches, bro. No one's gonna be quicker than a guy who's not on crutches.
But I'm not putting him in this game.
No.
Trying to win.
No. Which the fact that it is what? The 25th.
January 25th?
Yeah.
I would have been done. Bro, I would have bought Timo. It doesn't matter at this point. It does not matter.
Not Big Benz?
Anyone. It don't spend a lot of money. I'm talking about get somebody on the cheap, on the bargain.
That's what they were looking at. I was just reading through.
How about this?
After John Duran?
Who?
John Duran from
Villa's backup striker.
And he got injured, so we're not going to get him.
Of course. That tracks.
We're not going to get him now. Broja is being offered to Fulham for 30 to 35.
Done.
You'll never get that. You'll never get that.
Sold.
Wolves was going to pay it, but
sold.
I read something that said that because they were worried about FFP, they backed out. Because originally it was going to be a loan with buy option.
We'll give you a team bus. Balance it out, bro. We're good. Like, you're done.
We'll take the loss on our books, and y'all can just just take him.
Yeah.
Like Yachty to Barcelona. Just
have him.
Here's the washing machine with him. Just go. Get him out.
Need new ones anyway. Go.
No, I mean, I don't really rate Broja as much as maybe some. He's definitely got some good qualities, but he's not the guy that's going to run in behind Villa's line and with any kind of quickness. So Patrick, you're right. I think while I also don't think Enzo is the quickest, the guy to make the deep run. So maybe Connor will be the one making the run. He's got some speed, I guess.
See, I think he's back a little bit.
You really don't have anybody with, besides Jackson with any and Mud Dog with any speed.
Unless you want to put Sterling at the 9.
Unless you put Merling.
Mud Dog down the center, baby.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would
just let him move
be
up one.
insane.
That would be
Mud Dog down the center.
let him.
Yo,
Jackson was doing. That's all Jackson was doing.
I just want to see someone design a tactical plan around getting in behind the high line. Because Villa play just as high as Spurs do. They're just better at it.
Dude, actually, that's what you would do. But the problem is Villa are absolutely huge.
So
Mudryk is going to get bodied off of every single.
just run by them.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Mudryk at the 9, man. Let's
teach Mud Dog to make a looping run.
Right.
To make the run that does this.
Yep.
And I'm talking about you have to make the run such that it accounts for the step up.
Yep.
Because the D line is waiting for the pass to make a step forward to catch the guy off. So not only do you have to go the one step to make sure you're not you're offside to begin with, but knowing that they're going to step up again. So you got to go even deeper when you curl that run. If you can time that correctly, you can beat Villa 6-0.
You're gone. Oh, and he's gone. You're not catching. If he gets a step on anybody, you're not catching him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what is it, like Konsa back there in the back? They're not catching him. They're just not catching him. I don't remember. I'm not sure who will start. Alvarez maybe will start back there. But they're not fast. They're big, like you say. But I think there's so much space in behind them.
I think that's the play because Broja's not going to be able to go get the ball if we're playing this cross game. That actually might be the play because I know Connor's going to start like that.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
Or you can devise a plan around passing it into Broja, having him lay it off to like Enzo, and then someone else is running from deep.
Had to be
but you have to do it, so the defense is pulling to Broja, who's pulling with them, right?
Oh, that's why the backs are that's gonna be chilly or
and the deep runner, it'll be chilly. It's gonna be chilly
all day.
The deep runner from either side will pinch in and be able to get in behind. I think that's the strategy, man.
Yeah, it'll be chilly as well.
But see, what baffles me is no one has done that. No one has designed a tactical plan against Villa to defeat. I was so pissed that Arsenal didn't do that when we played them. We created chances in our own way and we controlled the game because that's just the way we're playing this season. But I'm like, it's there for the taking. Like playing I'm just not convinced by a high line offsides trap in the Premier League. Smart coaches should be able to rip that apart.
Especially with the speed these guys have.
Exactly.
These guys have.
Like if just release Martinelli behind Villa 7 times a game.
Just let him,
and we should smash him.
Oh, that was like the 3 cards my coach had in high school. That was literally the one of them was, all right, fine. We're going to throw our 2 fastest guys on the wing. We're going to play a 2 with a 1 that sinks in. We're just going to invert the diamond that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are gone. They're going to stand at half field because you're not catching Ryan from that to the box. That to the box, we got you. And
in most games, and it was exhibited very well in the Boro game. Once you hit it once, twice, you've won the game.
Get that timing right too, then it's dead. Then they have to change. They have to change.
Either they change or the floodgates open, and it's a bloodbath.
Right.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a Premier League coach. Maybe who's about to get fired? Somebody's about to get fired. I think Eddie Howe's on the chopping block, actually. Newcastle, the Cup Chasers coaching squad. We've got you.
Speaking of Newcastle,
give us
Chelsea
a call.
Is linked with Callum Wilson.
So is Arsenal, dude.
18-20.
The man.
Out.
Look, nobody is buying anyone. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I saw it's like 76 million that's been sent. It's
too late. It's so everyone's waiting.
FFP has just handcuffed everyone,
and they're so scared to make a move. Everyone's.
Dude, I'm an AFTV fan. I watch AFTV, not all of it because there's a whole bunch of content. But Robbie Lyle does transfer daily, bro.
There's nothing.
Nothing's happening.
Well,
What are we even talking about these days? Because we're not doing. Arteta has come out again
really.
and said that we're not buying a striker.
This is our squad, right?
He's like, listen, get into your thick skulls. We're not buying a striker.
I'm not doing it, bro. There's no one.
Happening.
There's no one to buy. I'm not gonna go to the market and buy. Yeah, dude. No, I'm not.
He keeps going Belgian with all this waffle about a left back. Look, we're not buying anybody.
No.
We're literally this close to FFP. You know how much we lost? We registered like 127 million loss in the COVID year or something ridiculous. That doesn't include like what we did bring in or whatever, but just against the red in the ledger was 127 mil balls in COVID. So they're obviously waiting till May when that drops off.
Yeah.
And that's no longer a part of the 3-year period. We're not buying anybody. It's not happening. And apparently only Forrest, because I love that. At the meme from the Wolf of Wall Street where he's just throwing hundreds off the thing, and that's Forrest buying players despite the 10 points they're about to get the
Oh, we're going down. This absolutely. Just...
Oh god, Nuno's having himself a ball.
Eating a lot of fancy dinners, man.
Yeah, but if they catch that deduction, it's bad news Bears. They're in dead last.
They're done.
You know, but yeah, I still think this is gonna be a tough game tomorrow.
Oh yeah, excited.
Well, definitely, it's
no matter what.
I mean,
I really, and you know, I'm sure every team could say this. I really enjoy when Chelsea when the boys feel like they're in control of a game. The mentality behind this team, when they look like they're control any game, pick out any game, even the ones we've tied, when they look like and they feel like they are controlling the game and not letting the circumstances run them or get into their heads, they look good. They play up. They show talent. They have innovation about them, which is what you want in players. It's just
like the one time you didn't play down and you smashed Luton 3-0.
Don't play down.
From start to finish, y'all looked like in that game. And yes, again, it was Luton and they were still just finding their feet. You know, they hadn't really hit their form. Sure.
Look,
the point is that y'all looked confident. Sterling looked confident from word go, you know, and it was a good performance. Yeah.
Yep. And I hope the same for Villa, and I'm really excited to see it. I think if we can take it to Villa, get out early, control the game, and we bring that attitude into Pool.
Oh yeah, a win versus Villa.
It might be another
set up the Pool match nicely.
But that's the only thing. If we win against Villa, I will draw against Pool because it'll be the last 8.
I mean, that's at Anfield, man.
It doesn't matter. The last 7 have been draws. Does not matter the location. They're draws. We will draw against Liverpool. They'll keep.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm definitely hard cheering Chelsea at Anfield. You know it. All day long. You know that. But
I still can't find this, by the way.
I think we're gonna go 2-1 Villa. I really do. I really think it's gonna be 2-1. I just that sits with me. I think we're gonna go up 2 goals.
It is.
I think we're gonna go up 2 goals on them, and then they're gonna pop one and make the game very tight. Like 2 goals, maybe in the late first half, early 50. They're gonna get one in the 70, and then it's gonna be just an absolute. I don't want to watch it. after that,
two goals is what the unsafest lead in soccer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you're just comfortable enough to get smacked.
You just kind of pull back a little bit.
We got this. No, you don't. You're gonna get.
Like I get more nervous when we go up 2-0 than
same. When we went up 2-0 in this game, I was like, "Oh, who are you talking
to? Who are you talking to right now? You're talking about 2-0 leads.
Talking to the king of losing 2-0.
You're talking about 2-0 leads, man. Good grief, man. I don't even start looking at the score until we're up 2-0.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Oh my goodness!
What up, Lewis?
What's going on? We talking Chelsea?
Yeah, did you see the Boro game?
Um,
Boro.
They won like 5-1 or 5-0.
Yes, no, he did 6.
1, sir.
I knew it was like it was a blowout, which it should have been. Anyway.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful.
So you think they can beat Villa tomorrow?
Villa's been super out of form. I mean, am I making a prediction on it? Because if I look at it, if they follow form, then why not? But if I follow Chelsea, then that means they are just gonna baffle us about what they'll be, and then we just don't know what they'll bring out.
We've won like our last 4 matches in total.
Well, according to this, you've won 2, lost 1, and then won 2. So in the middle was
the blip, the Boro blip.
The Boro blip.
He's not counting that.
I mean,
no,
I don't see why they don't win at home. But I mean, you literally don't know what Aston Villa is going to show up. But if it's Aston Villa on the road, then they should win because Villa doesn't win on the road. They play below themselves or below whatever the standard is they have at home. So I don't see why Chelsea don't win, but I've always supported and understood the perspective of the guys where they look at Pochettino's management of lineups and teams and formations, and that inconsistency creates the inconsistency in play. And I mean, if we're looking at Unai Emery, he'll see it and he'll take advantage of it. So I mean, you have to take into account that the manager is worth something as well. So I mean, it kind of is what it is. I mean, if I'm gonna give you a number, I would say that Chelsea, it'll probably be a 2-1 Chelsea. If I give you a number,
that's my boy.
Well, it begins and ends with where does Levi Colwell play?
Center back. He played center back.
He's left back.
No, he's not.
Because Chili's healthy.
Yo, Chili, I'm all right.
As long as he doesn't stub his toe before tomorrow.
I haven't said it. Bro, Chilwell might be next on my wall. Like, I enjoy having Chilwell in this squad, man. Like, I wish he scored as much as Marcus Alonso did. Like, I wish he could finish like that because then it would just elevate him so much.
Yeah, I don't like Marcus Alonso at all.
But he plays so much like my guy. He just can't finish. So, like, I love Ben Chilwell. He changes the complexity of the team. He's a leader. He
definitely changes everything. They switch it up when he's in there for sure.
Because he can do what Reece does on the right. So if you have one, or if you have, God forbid, both healthy, it won't happen. But God forbid both are healthy.
Yeah, that's like a blue moon. That's like a
and that's our final. That's the final squad. You play all these mini Chelseas all the way through until you get to a final
boss. The Chelsea final boss is when James and Chile are healthy at the same time. It only happens once a year. It's that one time a year, and of course, it's Arsenal.
It's Arsenal in the FA Cup final.
There's Arsenal in Baku.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. But Lewis, we were having a discussion about the fact that it seems like no team that has played against Aston Villa has as yet designed their whole strategy around the high line.
Because they're scared.
Around beating the high line. Because Villa, even though they do it better than Spurs, they play a high line just as high, just as far up the pitch. They squeeze the field, and they're all of their players are in a small space.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of frustrating. I wanted Arsenal to do it, to release Martinelli in behind, to release Saka in behind, but like we didn't. And I feel like it's there for the taking.
I think this is where I think some of the old school stubbornness of the managers comes into play. Is that I think because Pep might have said something along the lines of that too, where these guys, they stick to their philosophies before they stick to the advantage. They want to find the advantage through their philosophy because they feel if they break the discipline down for something like that, they feel like they're either being goaded into playing a way that they're not comfortable playing, or they don't have the personnel to play, or they just believe that their system will beat that. and they'll find the way to do it. So I think it's more of a sort of a manager control thing, because to be a manager or a coach, it's about control. And so you want to make sure they do that. I remember when Pep first came to City, that first year, his roughest year, and people were like, yo, what are you doing? Like, Bravo was in there playing it from the back, looking awful. And it's bad because, you had people who knew how to do it, but they were not executing it correctly. And that's where you recognize you need the personnel who can attack it, but also do it in your system so they can take advantage of it, but still take advantage of it in the correct way. For example, City, they don't ever play the ball long, truly. But when De Bruyne was missing, they played it longer. They played it long more often because they didn't have someone to connect them through the midfield. And then when Haaland was missing, they stopped doing that. So, they didn't do that in the same way. So, I mean, could they attack it? Yeah. But then you're thinking, well, is that what Emery wants them to do? Because then Emery may have the counter-attacking plan to how to attack his defense. And they may give you that one goal to then get you into the lull that you can do that, and then they just destroy you. So it just depends. You never know. Football and managing is like chess. So you hope you make the right moves. But I agree that they should attack it. They shouldn't just depend on doing that, but they should take advantage of it when they see it.
Yeah, I just feel like Villa that's their A plan, like the plan A for defending when teams are trying to play out. Teams are, not just hoofing it long. And I think like against Liverpool, for example, they'll have no issue just hoofing it over the top. Diagonal balls over the top, and it'll probably be effective because Liverpool are on an absolute ridiculous tear right now. But yeah, any final thoughts on Chelsea, guys?
I think I just saw that Cesar Cassidy, is back with the club. So I don't know if he'll play in this one, but that'll be somebody to watch for. We watched him in the summer, and he was actually quite impressive in the midfield. I was shocked that we actually sent him out on loan. But that said, I think confidence is a real thing, and momentum is as well. With that layoff for Villa, I don't. Their last game was against Everton. I don't know when that was.
0-0.
Yeah, so I mean, they're not coming flying high. Like I said, they had no business winning that game earlier in the season, and wouldn't have won the game if it wasn't for that red card, because they did absolutely nothing until that point. And
wasn't it like a 90th, 89th minute?
It was like an 85th or maybe it was a 78th minute goal.
It was late.
But it was, it came down the side that the Gusto was playing on, and we got.
Alarms galore.
I know, right? So I think we win. I'm going to go 1-0.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, that's all you need.
That's all I need.
That's all you need. Yeah. I think it'll be very interesting to see how Poch keeps up with Emery's in-game tactical switches.
That's what I worry about.
Because Emery will have plan A. Okay, if they do this, we got this plan B. And if they do this, we got this plan C. And if they do this, we got this plan. And if we see this, we'll switch out this up here. Emery's got the pages and pages of ready to go. Knows what he sees. I like Emery as a coach. I think bit hard done by the Arsenal. Maybe it was just not the right time. But I think he's definitely
hard.
Got him playing well. Absolutely. So it should be a tough match. It should be an exciting one. I know I'll definitely be tuning in. But of course, that is not the only game taking place tomorrow. Phil, sir, we've made it. Here's a prediction from Mr. Phil for you there, Lewis. What you saying?
Is he Phil Foden? That would be awesome.
Yes, it's definitely Phil Foden.
Yeah, it's Phil Foden.
He's calling his shot.
Yeah, he's calling his shot.
Well, I mean,
goals in 5. No goals in 5 tries. Just want to throw that in there right from the rip.
Well, I love the statistics on the matchup is Spurs are unbeaten in 4 home games and City haven't lost in 9 matches.
Okay.
I mean, I told you all last time we talked that City is going to win the game. It's sort of the hoodoo of, I mean, it's cute and it's funny and all that stuff, because in those games, and I'm being honest, right, in the grand scheme, did they really count, right, for things? And in hindsight, you look at it and you say they didn't count for a lot. I think because they've had the experience of winning the FA Cup recently, because City, it feels like City has never really taken the FA Cup super serious. And
but you're the holders. You're the champions.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, but how many? Pep has only won it twice in 8 years. He's put his stock into getting them, and they were in the Carabao Cup, and they took that cup seriously, and that always played around the same time. So you really couldn't. You had a thin squad to play FA Cup. I mean, it's sort of the League Cup semis, and then be matched with the FA Cup. So you had to pick one, right? I mean, you obviously try to win them all, but you had to pick one. And because they last year and this year they crashed out sort of unceremoniously in the League Cup both times, because I think they had won it 5 years in a row or something like that. So it was like whatever.
It was invitational. Let's be honest.
The Man City Invitational.
And so at that point, they recognized that they should take the matchups a little seriously. And you saw there was a sort of a different zeal to the thing, because it's a huge cup from the English standpoint. I mean, Arsenal has won it the most. Am I right? I think
We have.
Yeah.
And so you look at that, and I mean that it's a prestigious cup. It matters, right? So you take it seriously. And
I'm furious that we were knocked out of the tournament. I'm not happy at all. Like the energy drink special means nothing to me, less than nothing. The FA Cup though, that's apparently Arteta's got bigger fish to fry out there with Salt Bay, but I'm not happy. I'm not excited that we're not in this tournament.
Yeah, and so, but I look at that and I say, I think Pep is taking it seriously, specifically because I think just having that run combined with the end of the season run, it keeps them on that playing every 3-day cycle, and so they'd like to keep that, for freshness, because I think that does actually benefit if your squad is staffed well enough. It's good for regularity. It keeps you fresh when you play games. So then all the games matter, and then you don't have to rise up for a game, right? You are always sort of on your toes. I mean, I'm looking at the injury report, so it looks like Akanji might not play. Stones is out. Haaland might be on the bench, and Ederson might play. But I mean, it's a cup, so that means that Ortega will start.
Yeah,
and Haaland will likely be on the bench. I don't expect Akanji to start, because I mean, we're fine in the back with the guys that we have there. So De Bruyne.
I actually heard that Haaland might not even dress.
And that's fine. I mean, we've clearly shown that we know how to play without him and De Bruyne, which I think psychologically is huge for the team, because I mean, people was like, well, they just try to find a way to win. How did they do it without Haaland? How did they do it without De Bruyne? And they're proving that it's a unit, because I think it's always been about the unit, but people kind of focus on those guys. And I mean, yes, they're absolutely world class, and when they're in the team, we are quite dangerous, right? But you also want to get those other guys to start building up their confidence to recognize that if these guys are not there, we want to be able to do it. So you needed Foden to get in the middle and feel to be, I can be the danger man like De Bruyne, and Bernardo to feel and to get the sort of the plaudits, and Alvarez to be like, hey, he's a good striker. I mean, we've always known it, but there's a shadow over them. And so I think because you got the whole it's Spurs Stadium, we can't win thing going on there, I think they go in and they win. I think it's where I don't think they, and I'm being honest about this, I don't think they've ever really taken that game serious like they should, right? It's because it's always at a weird time of the year. So I think that's part of the thing. I mean, if I'm predicting, I feel like Spurs will score just because they're at home. But I think City will win it 3-1. But I think it'll be a tough game because, Spurs, they play the high line and they play really attacking and they press pretty well. So I'm excited to see that. I think City like that competition. So, hey, the funny thing is I picked 3-1 and I forgot Phil picked 3-1. So, yeah, Phil, we're on the same page wherever Phil is in life and in the world. But, yeah, I think 3-1 is the score, even though that's not a part of the predictions thing. But I think that's what the outcome will be. 3-1 City.
I want to interject. I did find the graphic, by the way. Man City's been in 10 cup finals and won 9.
Yeah, Pep don't lose.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, since the year of 2000.
Well, I know the one they lost that I'm still angry about, but yes.
Apparently, he loses in semifinals. I said apparently he loses in semifinals. We've beat Pep twice in FA Cup semifinals.
That's right. I'm just saying. What were you saying, Patrick?
But yeah, domestic cup finals, the Premier League's big 6 clubs. Chelsea has 18 finals. They've won 9. United has 12. They've won 7. Arsenal has 11. They've won 7. City has 10. They've won 9. Liverpool has 10. They've won 7. And Tottenham has 5, and they've won 1.
What's the you saying in the Premier League era?
Since 2000, yes.
Oh, come on. They
Since
cannot
2000.
count that Cracker Jack trophy that they won over the.
No, this is domestic cup finals.
They won the EFL. They won the energy drink special in 2008. In 2008, yes, they did.
You're going back all the way to.
He said 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the last 24 years, and every one of ours are wins were FA Cups. We have not won a League Cup, and we lost the Europa League final to you guys. So every one of ours were FA Cup wins.
Well, it's domestic, so it's going to be either EFL or.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
Or FA, yeah.
Or
the Johnson's Paint Cup.
Is there
Johnson's Paint Cup? That's right. Yeah.
This might sound. I don't know, man. This is probably why I'm last in the predictions league.
Don't come last, bro. You don't want to come last this season.
Is there a world where Spurs win this 2-1?
Of course, there's a world where it exists. I mean,
first City have to show that they can score there. All right. I mean that's the first hurdle that they have to clear. But I don't know if this Spurs team is made up to be able to.
Hold up now. Romero's back. Rumor has it Mr. Everyone's favorite James Madison is coming back.
Yeah.
About time.
Right here, I'm actually got BBC's football page up. It says Madison set to make Spurs return against Man City.
Yeah,
he says he want to start.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It makes sense to start, but that's what he wants.
He probably wants to. Is Van der Ven back? That's a good question as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's back too.
Yep. Van der Ven and Chris Romero are fit, according to BBC Sport. So.
Stronger defensively for sure.
That means nothing to me.
But who scores?
For City?
No. For Spurs.
Oh, I was about to say. He's calling his shot, remember?
Yeah, exactly. He's calling a shot. No, I mean, like, who scores for Spurs?
Kulichevsky?
Sonny's not there.
2 randos?
Sonny just put up a 4.3 in the South Korea-Malaysia game.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, that's kind of my point. Like, if
Well played,
Spurs they could score, I don't know if Spurs can go and score themselves. Because City's not getting beat on a free kick or a corner. They're just not. And
Brennan Johnson.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the business. No. You know who's going to score? Timo.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yo.
Timo. Agent Timo. They're all agents of Chelsea. If you go to Chelsea and you get sent somewhere else, you're just, secret agent.
Now you're an agent.
Well,
Now
see,
you're doing the
what
business.
This is what could happen then. Chelsea beats Villa, Spurs beats City, and then Spurs do something Spursy, and Chelsea's got like the best chance going forward to, potentially win the FA Cup.
Yeah, Poole played Norwich City though. So.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm not worried about this round in terms of like the pathway, but I mean, seriously, I don't know who scores for Spurs. I mean, maybe Madison if he starts, it's possible.
No love for
I don't see it. I just don't see it.
no love for the Brazilian pigeon man.
Yeah, I forgot about him, but
Oh my gosh,
I think
He's got 6 goals this season. 5 or 6 goals this season. Oh, I definitely have no love.
Yeah, no.
But like, okay, so Richarlison. Yeah, I don't trust him to score against City. Like, if City puts out a strong lineup, I don't know how Spurs score. I really don't.
Is Stones gonna play? He's available. It says here.
I don't think he'll play. Well, none of those guys that are hurt will start. So I don't think he'll play. Like, Stones might come on.
Right.
But I mean, the back line would be Walker, Diaz, Vardiol, and Ake.
Yeah, because Akanji's out as well.
I don't see him scoring. I just being honest. Ortega's a really good shot stopper. So I just don't. I don't see.
Yeah, no Basuma, no Sar. They're both in Africa. Yeah, it's gonna be like. Will it be Skip? Will Skip start?
Probably Skip, I would think. Yeah.
I'm
gonna go 2-0 City.
Yeah.
Hey, that thing you said, the Hazard stepping on the kid and him being with the kid.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
That's
the kid
so
now
funny.
has like a $50 million vodka company.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they went like golfing today or something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Good for him. Huh.
It's crazy.
That's
And he
wild,
kicked him.
dude.
He didn't step on him. He kicked him.
Oh no, he kicked him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to get the ball out from
Yeah,
under
give me the ball back. I mean, yeah, you're gonna
Who
get
was that?
kicked. I mean, if I'm eating, I'm doing the same thing. I'm kicking it. I'm kicking you. Give me the ball. I'm kicking you.
We
If
all
we're
lose.
losing or down.
We were.
You to get the ball. Right, I know we were.
Michu actually scored, I think, twice in that game, if I remember.
Oh
Right.
I
wow.
need the ball. I'm gonna kick.
Talk about blast from the past.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man. That's a Swansea City reference
Bro, I just don't know where to
from
go.
way back.
I don't know where to go on this one, man. I'm stuck.
Dude, it's City 3-0 all day. The hoodoo is nothing. I guarantee you, the only people, everyone but City is talking about the hoodoo, about they haven't scored. It's another game for them, dude. It's another team that's stepping up to get knocked down.
Lose at Spurs though, like this is where I'm at with it.
I mean, this is sort of like the Holland hasn't scored against Chelsea thing. And then he scores 2.
He's
I
going.
think. Yeah, 2 against them.
Well, there you go. Like,
Uh,
yeah, man. It's still Man City. They're still the best team in the world. KDB will play even if he doesn't start.
Well, I just read, which is weird, Guardiola's presser today is that De Bruyne is ready to play 90 minutes.
Well, there you go.
God.
It's over.
I hope
We're
he
all in
doesn't
trouble
start.
now.
It's over.
2-1 City.
Yeah, man. City's gonna smash them
2-1.
for sure.
They get a goal. They're home. They're gonna give them a goal.
My preference is that they blank them. That's my preference. That City gets a clean sheet and wins. But for these games that they go straight to pens, right? Or do they do replay still?
I think that it might be the 5th round. It might be the 5th round where they stop doing replays.
Round 16. Are we not?
No, it's in the 4th round. We're still in the 4th round.
Oh, we're in the 4th. Okay. No, I thought this was the 5th.
No, we're in the 4th.
No.
4th.
We're in the 4th. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, they will be replays. They will be replays. Apparently, it's on the docket Yeah, so according to the Times from UK, it says replays in the third and fourth round of the FA Cup are set to be scrapped after this season as the FA prioritizes saving the winter break. And of course, the expanded Champions League will mean all competitions fixtures are under pressure. And this is an article from December of 23.
Does this mean they go to PK straight, or will they have extra time?
I think it's penalties. No. It'll be scrapped
Next
for
year.
next season.
Next year.
So they'll still do replays this season.
Next year they'll just go straight for PKs.
So y'all better win tomorrow because y'all don't want to go to Villa Park. And Spurs, well, they don't want to go to the Etihad either.
No.
You know.
No, they do not.
So, yeah. The replays, that's BS. You want to get a result. you want the result.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're, Norwich City at Anfield. You'll be okay with a draw.
Hey, man, I'm rooting for the Canaries.
Aren't we?
Well,
all?
who isn't?
Mince pie. No, but I'm rooting for them because that's who I rooted for when I was in England. So it's not even a Liverpool hate. Because, I remember I used to have this saltiness about Pool. And then I was like, you know what? I like the City Pool thing because they push him to be better. So I'm not going to hate on him. I'll just, whenever we play them, that's the only time I care about what the result against them is. Other than that, I don't care.
I like watching Pool play. I think they're a good team, explosive for sure. But I hate all my rivals. So if you're in contention for anything I'm in contention with, I'm going to cheer against you every single game.
I don't like you. So
this is where I'm going to sound a little arrogant because I don't count anybody as a rival.
Of course you don't. Yeah.
I don't.
That's why in the Spurs Man City game, Arsenal are not in the tournament. So there's only one person so I'm a City fan, of course. Of course. Duh. Even if Arsenal were in the tournament, like
it's Spurs.
get out of here.
I get it.
But yeah, like when it comes to I guess that logic, I guess I don't really care that if Poole win the FA Cup then. Only wish for them to lose games so that we don't have to hear about this one loss in 32 matches crap that they keep spouting.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
The other thing, are we talking about Liverpool at all? Because if we're not, I'll just throw this in there real quick.
I mean, we were going to do a bit on the rest of the the tournament.
Then go ahead. I'll wait for that.
Hey, unless you have anything else on City, we can move on.
No, I got 3-1, man.
Everybody. Oh yeah.
United.
Everybody thinks City's going to win, which makes sense. I think they'll definitely break the curse. But of course, there are plenty of other fixtures. Who are we going to next? Whoever you want. Liverpool, United. United play. Let me look. I had these. I had them up.
Newport County.
Yeah.
73 places behind them in the football pyramid.
Let's go. Newport.
Welsh team. So they're headed to Wales.
And it's in Wales?
It's in Wales.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. I would absolutely love it.
You would have to think you would get sacked at that point.
Oh, yeah. Newport County. There it is.
I mean,
Rodney Parade. That's the name of the stadium? Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be I'm praying for a Newport County victory. Hey, that's the only game in that time slot. I'll probably watch that one.
We're putting that one on for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, check this out. Newport County haven't lost in 7 matches.
Hey, all right.
Uh-oh.
Also, they're unbeaten in 7 home games.
Yeah, they are. That's what we like to hear.
How big is their stadium?
Hold on, because I'm looking at it.
It's gotta be like
I clicked on it and all it did was show maps, which I wasn't looking for. But it's right on the water. That's kind of cool. It's right on the river. I mean, I guess it's England, so everything's
They're in South Wales.
They got 4 squash courts.
Yep.
According to Wikipedia.
8,700, but 7,850 for football.
Yeah, there you go. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Wild.
What do you mean? They subtract it when it's soccer? What's going on there?
Yeah.
Rugby might be bigger.
Rugby's bigger in Wales. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or they're all going to Swansea games.
I think Cobham's bigger than this place. Like, this is a wild
Wow, really?
stadium.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend. I think United should probably win this 3-0. But
It'll be They'll even Ten Hag will put out the youngsters. I mean, does United even have like a reserve? I haven't seen any of their like really young guys. They're already playing. Kobe
They're already
Mainu.
playing.
What's the dude with the big hair? Hannibal. Yeah. The young dudes are already there.
I bet you Garnacho has a brace, at least a brace.
Garnacho will play. Yeah.
This stadium is wild, though. So when they're not playing rugby, the ends don't have stands.
What?
Seriously.
They can't be in what? I
Dude.
bet it's like a rule they can't be in sight of a post since they're so thin or something like that.
Yo, one of the rugby teams that plays there are the Dragons. I'm a
Nuts.
fan.
I'm
I'm immediately a fan.
The Gwent Dragons? Is that what it is? Yeah.
It says Dragons RFC. I don't know anything about rugby leagues. Did you go to any rugby while you were over there, Lewis?
I have a funny thing is I went and I didn't really know what I was watching. I have a rugby jersey and everything. Those things are
rugby's
like heavy,
awesome,
man. They're like super heavy and thick.
I've watched just enough to where I probably couldn't explain the rules, but I could like kind of understand what's going on.
I thought I did, and I didn't understand. I did. I mean, it was cool to see just people run, and it was like crazy athleticism.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely couldn't play rugby myself.
It should be a training session, more than likely. But man, if you get like, I don't know, 30 minutes in and you're not already up a goal, like that pressure starts to slowly mount on you.
I mean, who doesn't love a good giant killing? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
we're all here for it.
But that's where I feel like the Liverpool. What is it?
It's Poole and Norwich. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, Norwich is not going to be a giant killer either, but I mean that's what I would prefer.
I mean,
but again, it's not Poole hate. It's because I want Norwich to win.
oh my God, the lines here are crazy.
Yeah, let's hear.
Man U is neg 1100, so it's that's massive.
You're not making any money there.
The over under is 3.5, and Liverpool is 650. Liverpool is 650. The over under is 3.5. That's crazy. Yeah.
Seriously, there are no stands behind the goals.
Let me pull up this photo right here.
Like they might have one in one end, but I don't even think they do. Looking at it,
yeah, I got you right here. Check it out.
all the stands are yeah, exactly.
It's gone. It's just not there. Do they bring it? Do they bring another one in?
Is it like?
I mean, man,
That's wild.
Nope.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, for rugby, do they bring? It's just not one. So what happens when Anthony hits one to the fan in C19, but there is no C19?
That means it goes to the parking lot.
It's going into the river.
it goes into another field because there's a field behind it.
I'm keeping it.
Anthony might score, but it won't be on the right field.
That counts for 2.
It counts for
He
2.
finally got a goal, didn't he?
It's like
Did he?
I think
He
he finally
did.
got a goal.
No.
It's news to me.
I thought he did.
I'm sure. I'm not sure. I don't even remember the last time I watched United. It just seems like this winter break's got me all discombobulated. You know, they played 2 weekends ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It feels like it's been forever.
I'm now checking that.
Yeah. But there is another Premier League match. Sheffield, a couple of Premier Leagues. Sheffield and Brighton and Fulham and Newcastle. Sheffield looking better these days. At least the last time they played at home, they got the 2-2 versus West Ham in somewhat controversial fashion. And Brighton gave the ball away a lot the last time I saw them play. It was still a back and forth. It was against Wolves on Monday. It was a good game. It was a great 0-0, but they gave the ball away a bunch. That's not to say I think that they're not going to beat Sheffield, but that one's going to be closer than we might have expected 2-3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Fulham bringing out the white flags and the whatever it is.
So he doesn't have a goal in league play. So maybe he hasn't scored.
Yeah, I don't know what Fulham were doing with them flags, man. That picture I saw was crazy.
Yeah, I'll find it again. I'll find it. But
that was nuts.
How about they gave Liverpool a scare?
Yeah, you're talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a bit of a professional performance from Liverpool. No Jota. I don't think Jota played, which was interesting. He may have come in the end, but I don't think he started.
I think it was Curtis Jones who was just whipping in crosses left and right. And I'm like,
yeah.
Great. Just great.
Yeah. He's playing good, Curtis Jones.
He really is. Like, I'm sitting there watching, and I was like, I wish somebody from Chelsea could whip in a cross like that.
Yeah, well, he can. He's just got his leg wrapped up.
That we have nobody cross it too, so there's no point.
I mean, Broja's decent in the air.
Yeah.
Is he?
Maybe.
I
guess I'm being generous. Yeah. I think Norwich they just don't have it.
What was an interesting stat?
Like,
can
you imagine them being the one to end Liverpool's unbeaten streak right now?
Awesome.
That'd be glorious.
It'd be glorious.
It'd be insane.
Oh,
it's the magic of the FA Cup.
I would love it. I would absolutely love that.
I'm here for it.
It would be on Salah being missing, but I saw an interesting stat about Liverpool, and it's not to knock them, but it's you can see you mentioned it, Jake, that they're starting to ramp up the Liverpool hype machine, which fair enough to them, fair play. But they made a mention. They said during this season that Van Dijk has not been dribbled past the entire season.
Here we go.
We're back to this again.
Now, here's the funny thing, because again, stats are basically can be cherry picked, and you can make a stat say whatever you want. What was failed to mention is that in the number of games that have been played, he's only had 20 one-on-ones.
Oh, come on.
So you can make that stat say that hey, no one has dribbled past him. Well, yeah. If you're not taking any one-on-ones, then you're not gonna get dribbled past. But it just the hype machine is starting, and
hey, the quad is on, man.
The quad
is on, bro. I'm telling you, man. Look out. Yeldarb's gonna be celebrating 4 times over.
My man.
Oh, he'll be back.
He'll be back
He'll be back for the preview for Liverpool Arsenal in a couple weeks,
Nice.
10 days or whatever that is. So yeah, the quad's on, man. They're gonna do it.
Well, I love how their statistics are often given without context, because the surface value of it has more value for a narrative than the actual
Yes.
substance of what the argument
Thus the state of the world, my friend.
Oh yeah, Of course. Thanks, social media.
I was gonna kind of back up, and
It's-
when we were talking about this the other day, and I totally forgot to mention Van Dijk. You know, we were talking about defenders and how they used to be crunching tackles, and just Van Dijk is like the new type of defender. Like, he doesn't do the crunching tackles. He's more like trying to take the ball off of you, block you, that kind of stuff. And like, people talk about him being the best in the world, and there was a time where there was a very good argument for him.
Absolutely.
But you know, I also think that you know, we talk about, you know, dribble pass and whatnot. John Terry didn't care if you dribble past him; he was still gonna
Man of the ball, baby. That was back in the prim.
Man of the ball.
But the thing about it is that okay, so no one dribbled past you, but then what if the other side of your defense is weak, or you know, it's silly, a silly stat, because if you didn't get dribbled past but your team lost the game, then what the hell does that stat matter?
Yeah, it's like another stat that Premier League put out on their Instagram about if the table was calculated by defensive standards, Arsenal would be top because we have 38% clean sheets. Woohoo! You know, like
absolutely nothing.
Not anything at all.
Absolutely nothing.
Well,
A 20-year Premier League trophy drought is what it gets us.
If the league was built on offensive, offensive prowess, not conversion, we'd be top of the league because we
create all the chances.
We create all the chances. We just miss all of them. So, you know.
Hey, Arsenal would win the field tilt table.
You hold on to the ball, you just do nothing with it.
We camp in the opposition half. We just can't do anything else.
You know who else does that? Triple G's boys.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Arsenal's being compared to Team USA right now. That really feels good. That feels really good.
I sent y'all that thing about the loss to Slovenia. And like the first paragraph, I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, let's hold the ball but not score or attack.
I'm gonna be honest. I saw a thing recently about the World Cup qualifying, and they were showing the CONCACAF groups. And you know, it was weird.
That was today.
You know, and I was looking at it, and I'm being honest, right? I looked at it, and the first thing I noticed, and I understand why, sort of, but in the moment, I was like, yo, did the United States not make dude, you don't even understand how, like, my mind automatically assumed we didn't qualify in our own freaking confederation. But then I was like, oh, we're host. My bad. But that's literally the standard where they are right now, where
you could have believed it if it was true. It'd still be crazy, but it'd been like, oh my God.
That was drawn today. Interesting groups. I think 5 come from it.
I think because the entire group is what, 8 more teams or something like that.
But we don't have to. But if we don't have to qualify, and Canada doesn't have to qualify, and Mexico doesn't have to qualify, does CONCACAF even get more? Do we get like one other team in the tournament?
It's 48 teams.
Oh, Jesus.
You know it expanded this year, Jake. Because the groups are different.
Come on, man.
Yeah, they're doing 16 in 3 like it was back in the day when there was only 24 teams in the tournament. Yeah. Go watch the my World Cup history series from back right before the World Cup, and I discuss a little bit about how the format changed over the years in a couple of different videos. So I know all about that, but I don't like it, man. It just stinks of American money grabbing.
We ruin everything.
Just like the Barcelona retirement club down in Miami.
I don't even have any comments on that, man. I don't have any comments on that.
Yeah. Same with the expanded Champions League. Next season. I thought they were gonna ditch. I thought they were gonna ditch that, but apparently not. Apparently, it's. I saw an article that said they weren't gonna do it, but now I've seen like 19 articles talking about how it will be expanded next season.
Well, I mean, they are expanding the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
It's usually like 8 teams. Now it's going to be like.
Don't y'all get in just because y'all
Won it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea will be in it because you won like 3 years ago or something. You'll be in the next one.
Yeah, Chelsea, City,
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
And Liverpool. Yeah.
And I guess it's whoever wins this year. So if an English team wins this year, they'll be in
If
it.
an English team gets it, then we get another one.
I thought you just did win it.
They
No,
did
this year.
for 24.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
What do you mean another one? The Champions League is this year, dude.
Oh, I thought we were talking
We're
about
talking
Club
about
World Cup. You're talking about Champions League winners will
Yeah,
make
Yeah, there's
it.
no Club World Cup next year.
Gotcha. That's why I was confused. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, you know what? I'm not gonna get my own hopes up saying some craziness like that.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. We'll start with Porto and then we'll see where we're at. You know, I just know we're drawing Bayern.
This is the history of the Arsenal.
As long as Tuchel can get to the quarterfinals. The way things are going, you know, he's trying to buy the Spurs B team. You know, as long as Tuchel can get there, I guarantee you we're seeing Kane in the Champions League. I would actually love that. I would actually love to knock Harry Kane out of the Champions League. That would just be.
What if he bombs a Hattie on you guys? Like, how bad is that gonna feel?
Well, I'm used to it. Kane scores. That's what he does. He scores against Arsenal.
There was a troll football that showed that thing that what's the guy who played at Juve and Bayern? The French guy. Who is it? That's won a trophy every year he's played.
Oh yeah.
And Harry Kane has not won a trophy, and one of these things has to end this year.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat that Coman has won. It said a league title. It didn't say a trophy. It said a league title.
Bayern's won every year. Bayern's won every year since
every season he's played.
And his first year at Bayern, he won. He got a medal for Juve and Bayern.
Not to mention, he was in the 18 France team.
Right?
Yeah.
Wherever that guy plays, he wins.
Just imagine, dude. Just imagine. I mean,
just a serial winner at this point.
I on my FIFA 14 game that I've played the same season mode for 15 years or whatever. I'm in 2026. Coleman's on the squad. He's been on the squad. I've had him. I bought him 7 seasons ago or something like that. Kept him around. Yeah, man. He's got on FIFA gave him like a 900 speed. Dude is quick. Dude is quick for sure. But yeah, I really hope that he does not win this season. Would love to see Granit Xhaka lift the title. But
well, I mean, he won the Swiss Player of the Year, so I mean, he's already started down that path.
Yeah, I mean, Xhaka he's a you know. I would have broken his kneecap at one point. You know, I was not a fan. He won me over last season, of course. Some great performances. Incredible tackle at Newcastle. Incredible tackle. But yeah, it would feel better to see Kane lose. I would feel more at watching Harry Kane tears than, you know, being moved by a Xhaka trophy lift.
Now, if I'm Harry, I just thought of this. If I have to choose, I'm Harry Kane. Would I prefer to win the a trophy at Bayern or win the Euros?
Euros. Oh my God, Euros. Of course.
So you think if he lost, he didn't win any trophies at Bayern this year, which would obviously make him feel like he's cursed because there's no way he doesn't feel that. You think the Euros would fix that for him? Because I think it would affect him mentally in play.
Yes.
I think it would affect him, but I also think that I honestly believe that if he wins the Euros and nothing else ever for his entire career, he'll
That's
be all
enough,
right.
man. That's
He'll be all
enough.
right. Because he'd be an English hero
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. If he's not already, you know, I know England is just ridiculously split, you know, tribalistically.
I was about to say, yeah, they hate him because of who he played for, not.
You know, Spurs are hated. Kane, you know, the only reason, I mean, there are reasons, you know, missing the penalty
Yeah.
in the World Cup is sour, of course. But, you know,
Against France? Like,
It was
really?
a horrible PK.
I mean, even English City fans loved Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
You know, even even English fans that hate Manchester United loved David Beckham,
Yeah.
Paul Scholes,
Yeah.
you know, the Neville brothers, you know. So I definitely think if Kane wins the Euros, you know, he'll be fine. He'll be just fine, you know.
Wanted to point this out. I was just looking at the standings, and Leverkusen has not lost in league.
That's why I put that up there. I was like, hey man, would
So
winning
they're gonna
the
go
Euros-
invincible, and he's gonna be like, man, I can't win anyway.
You know what's interesting about Leverkusen? You know, a lot of people are saying Liverpool are shoo-ins for the Europa League, but Leverkusen are also in the Europa League.
Ooh.
So Xabi Alonso returning to Anfield might be a spicy matchup.
That would be a fun one.
I would just want to throw a side thing in there. We want to thank Daniel Levy for not selling Harry Kane to City because that would have caused us to not win a treble.
The
So
curse
I
of
think-
Kane could have tanked Man City. Oh, I didn't even think about it. That would have been great.
We appreciate you.
Oh, if
By the
Kane
way,
tanked
somehow
City.
Spurs today became the richest club in London.
I saw that. Well, I mean, when
So-
you fill your stadium with concerts, it makes sense.
Yeah, it was Beyonce in the NFL because of the
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So what exactly is Daniel Levy gonna do with that? Nothing.
His investors are gonna be like, Daniel, please stay longer, and he's gonna be like, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Let's make more money for me. Hey, I'm fine with it. Keep not buying anyone. And even when you do,
But
you know.
also, when I was searching for that graphic, Chelsea and Spurs are in talks with the Jordan brand.
Really?
Yeah,
As in Michael Jordan?
yeah, the Michael Jordan brand. So you have
Why?
Nike, and then you have the Jordan brand.
I got
So,
an answer for that too. They'll just be PSG England. They don't win nothing either. So just go ahead. PSG, where's Jordan Brand? You know who else
no
wears
longer,
Jordan
no
Brand?
longer. They're actually, this is their last year with it.
Well, you know who else wears Jordan Brand just to help the association be there? The Charlotte Hornets. You go with that
Do
one
they?
however you want.
I don't think they do.
Well, yeah, that makes
No,
sense.
I don't think they. No. I don't think they
I'm pretty
wear
sure they do.
Jordan brand.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
because
they
the NBA is really weird, and like you can't have one team having.
There's
Like-
there's a number of teams that are on Jordan Brand because Jordan Brand is a subsidiary of Nike.
Wasn't he part owner of Charlotte for a while?
He just sold the team
They
this year.
just sold.
Yeah. So that kind of makes sense. You know?
Now I gotta find out.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the NBA, this is total non sequitur, but I saw a thing where one of the owner of the Memphis Grizzlies turned his house in Miami into a like a basketball arena or whatever, and he's got his house in Miami, and and he's got this big old jumbotron that he just runs 24/7, but it's all run by solar, and my brother installed the solar panels on the top of this man's house.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a crazy system.
So he got to see the whole like inner workings of what they have.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He said, and then his comment after that was, "The dude's younger than I am."
Well, age. I mean, I've always been sort of a proponent that age is never sort of we've especially in this modern era where age no longer is connected to success.
Yeah, I hear you.
I stand corrected. You're right, Lewis. I stand corrected. You're right.
No, but they did that on purpose with Jordan because they want they make so much money off of Jordan brand. They just do that. I don't know how long they'll be there, but I know they've done it in a couple of teams.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I meant to say this in a previous podcast. To ask the question, how do we feel about the fact that we look at these guys that are ballers, footballers, global footballers, phenomenal talents, and we're critical, and I don't mean us, but I mean just we as sort of a society are critical of them when they make mistakes or don't do something or don't see something on the field, and they're in their mid to early 20s, and we're critical of them like they've lived life. And I just wonder, are our expectations of players unrealistic based on just mentally what they have? Because, for example, think about how and I saw something where he said De Bruyne was like, he was going to be a flop with Mourinho. And I think Mourinho had him when he was like 21. And Mourinho saw he had quality because Mourinho always owned. He thought he was good. He just didn't. I mean, but you saw the team he had, and where was he? Who was he going to replace? Right?
Yeah.
So I do ask. I think the question is: are we placing like these titles of these greatness on these guys way too soon? And because I just feel like for example, the Messi thing, and I think that's actually been messy because now that we anointed him so long ago, people don't want to let that go because we get stuck with sort of era bias of it's our era, so we can't let anybody be better. And so I think it's like Mbappe, we've literally anointed him the next one. And I'm not gonna knock him in this sense where it's to say he's done nothing because he's clearly a good player. But to put him on that pedestal of where Ronaldo and Messi have like achieved, and to say he's next one up based on
Lewis, if they didn't rig this World Cup for Messi,
2 World Cups,
he'd have 2, right? By 21 with what 7 goals in finals. He would undoubtedly already be the greatest World Cup player.
That's a bold statement.
How? 2 single-handedly, 2 finals.
That's a bold statement.
2 players.
Pele's got 5, bro. Pele's got 5 and more goals.
Pele, period. There's nobody better than Pele for the World Cup.
Miroslav Klose's got a cup and more goals.
Yeah.
A cup.
Thomas Müller has a cup and more goals.
A cup. He would have 2.
He would. He doesn't.
But the thing about it is, but see, that's again where, and I don't knock you for it because I agree with the premise that you're giving. But this is where I think we just anoint people way too soon because that's what we're doing, right? Like, I mean, Ronaldo, like nobody said he was the greatest of anything, and he was an amazing player at United until he went to Madrid and showed he could do it there.
Well, he won
like
5. He won 5 Champions Leagues at United.
No, he won 5 overall.
Total.
Overall. So 4 at United. Or sorry, 4 at Madrid.
Right. But think about it. But nobody was saying he was going to be a GOAT when he's at like the GOAT term is a term of our generation. Like we just made that crap up, which is garbage.
I think a perfect example of that is going kind of back to the NBA thing, Jordan, LeBron. I mean, that's a perfect example. I grew up in the Jordan era. I saw Jordan do certain things that I never seen before. I love LeBron, and I think he's a fantastic player, and I mean, he's a generational talent. But I think that Jordan, as a player, was more groundbreaking than LeBron. That's era bias, easily. Because, Jordan was doing things that had never been seen before, and now it just seems like commonplace. But when you look at LeBron being like a 6'8", like freaking linebacker playing basketball, and he made his 20th All-Star game today, which is now a new league record. I mean, he's my age. I mean, he came onto the scene in 2003, so he's my age. I think I'm actually a couple months older than him. So I mean, I have tons of respect for him, but I grew up in the era of Jordan, and I think that's kind of where, you know, we get into this discussion about GOATs and this, that, and the other. You know, it's funny. I was reading something. The Echeverry kid, the City
just signed.
They're calling him the
After they've been accused of bringing in people that are too young to play for them.
They're calling him the next Messi. Like, and you know, it's not like, oh, he's the Scottish Messi or no, they're calling him the next Messi. And like, I think we get so wrapped up in the next that we lose sight of the current. And, you know, sports evolve, you know, like we were talking about defensively, you know, defensively, I mean, people were getting just blown up. Now you do that, you're getting a red card and peace, you know. So the sport has evolved to be more offensive. And I mean, that's happened across the board, not only in soccer, but, you know, football, basketball, even baseball. You know, they evolve because it's entertainment. You know, it's funny, people talk about the hate soccer because, well, you know, you get 1-0 and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, not so much anymore. You're getting like a 2-1. You're getting like a 3-1 or you might get a 1-1 or a 2-2 or whatever it might be. But to actually see a 0-0 or a 1-0, not as prevalent. And so I think, you know, what Lewis is saying, I mean, I think that Mbappe is going to be I don't think generational talent. Maybe he will be. I mean, I think we're coming into his prime for sure. But he'll be somebody that, you know, down the line will be like, man, we got to see Mbappe play, you know. But then we'll also try to compare him to a Messi or a Ronaldo, and I don't think he'll held up.
And a quick point is the reason I actually thought of that is because I saw a thing where they said that Mbappe will go to Madrid. And then the commentary is then, well, what are they going to do with Vinny? And Vinny just signed a long contract. And they said, well, so some Madrid fans were like, well, because Vinny just signed a contract, that means that side is for Vinny and Mbappe has to move. And then the argument came out, well, Vinny is just as good as Mbappe. And people are like, no, he's not. Yes, he is. And I'm like, you know, the thing about it is
maybe just as fast, but he's definitely not as good.
Well, but for me, it's that point is irrelevant in the point that we're looking at the thing where we're anointing these guys right now. And like Mbappe is the only one who has sort of a resume where you can say, okay, he's the next guy. He's the only one with the resume like that. No one else has the resume for that.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, so Haaland's getting close. Let's be honest. Haaland is.
No, he's not.
No, he's
not. You don't
think
so?
One season is not a resume.
Yeah, Haaland doesn't have the resume at all.
But then look at the power vacuum that's been left, Lewis. Though, like,
but Haaland will be stricter. Haaland. I don't think Haaland will ever make it there, because in our minds, in most football fans' minds, you have to have the international statistics and and games and wins to back it up, and Norway just aren't ever going to get there. Mbappe, because he's French and France are an absolute powerhouse right now and have been for the last 10 years,
and they're built for the next 15.
Mbappe is in the conversation, you know.
Yeah.
And we say they've been a powerhouse. They're still going to be a powerhouse. And Mbappe has been the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Haaland, yes, I fully believe he'll be a Premier League legend. He's already smashed a ton of Premier League records. Yes. And if he continues in that vein, yes, in the Premier League, in the Champions League, you know, he'll be there. He'll get there. Maybe not Messi, Ronaldo heights. Who knows? He's still young himself. And, to your point, Lewis, there's no need to go ahead and place those kinds of mantles on him after one season. And I think it's still early to be doing that to Mbappe. What's he, 26, 25, 26?
24, right?
24, 23? He's still got a good 6-7 years in him. And if he takes care of himself,
He just turned 25.
if he takes care of himself, like, dude, I saw a video of Zlatan Ibrahimovic he's hanging upside down, right? And he's got a bucket of water underneath his head, it's like a Tupperware box like this of water underneath his head. And he's got these two little cups, right? And at first I didn't realize what he was doing. He would go all the way straight and dip the water in these cups, right? And keep them upside down while he does a sit up. And he's got another tray on his shins that he's filling up with water. Dude is 43 years old.
Oh no, he's
a freak.
No, he's a freak.
So if Mbappe can keep, that level of discipline, and I think get out of Paris,
I think that's his biggest issue. Yep.
I agree that he's probably the only one with the potential to be the guy like Messi and Ronaldo have been, in the last 10, 15 years. But yeah, I agree that there's no one else that's even got a foundation to make it there.
No. And it's the power vacuum that's been left, Lewis. That's why people are freaking out and rushing to name and anoint these players, is because we waited too long. There've been a gap too long for someone to have the resume to step up and be like, no, I am the next guy, because they just kept giving everything to Messi. So there's no one that has the resume to back it, because Messi and Ronaldo have the lion's share of anything you want to attribute to the argument.
And then I would say, because it was sort of leading to your point, but why do we need a next guy? Why can't we appreciate?
It's sports. That's sports, man.
No,
not always though, because when Ronaldo and Messi were young, were super, super young,
there's no one.
Well, it was everyone. It wasn't just one. It was Ronaldinho was a monster. R9 was a monster. Zlatan was a monster. We had a bunch of dudes that were ridiculous, and no one guy was. I think social media has a lot to do with it as well.
And we labeled that era as some of the finest football.
Zidane, Zidane was in there. Roberto Carlos. These guys were all, Henry, of course, and because of social media, we can zero in on people and just share this guy and big up this guy and this guy, and so I just wonder, if social media would have been around back in those days.
Ronaldinho.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, yeah.
If you think about it, he had the most watched
Flair,
YouTube.
Sure.
For a sport, for
the most watched YouTube commercial for
YouTube commercial. Yeah.
Which one was that?
The crossbar challenge where they gifted him the gold Nikes.
Yes.
Old total 90s, and he painted off the crossbar.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one a bunch, actually.
Yeah.
And another thing that's happening in our era as the people who dominate the era in the headlines are fading away, which I appreciate that I got to see it, and I've experienced it. But the funny thing is people talked about and they use City, but then I'm just going to use all the leagues in general. They talked about hey man, since this money in City, look at what they did. So they took the small window where City is right now, and they're like, hey man, look, that they're ruining football because they've been winning. But then since 2012, the Premier League have had more new winners than any period in football. And if you go across other leagues, they've literally had multiple different teams win the league. And we're talking about Germany a little while ago. Leverkusen, if they can make that run, football is more competitive now as those people fade away. And wouldn't we want that? Because then as a market share, you can find a guy that you want to follow. But I mean, that means that there's money everywhere. And that means there's quality everywhere and there's hope everywhere. And then you actually grow the game, right?
Go ahead. Well, no, continue, because
There have been 4 different winners of the Premier League since 2012.
Right, but just because but think about because Leicester, no one saw.
Leicester,
right?
Chelsea, Pool, and City have won
Right.
in the last 10 years,
And
12 years.
even though we look at City and we say, oh, well, we think they're going to win, but it's never like a clear out and out. They're going to walk.
The Premier League is the most balanced league.
But
bar
if you go
none, across the board.
Yeah, I agree. But if you go to think about it, if you go to Italy, you thought it was that way, but think about what's happened there. It's been different because Napoli came in there, Inter, Juve. It's been mixed. If you go to La Liga has her owner right there. That's there's teams making noise that weren't making noise, and that's because the balance of football is better. Because even though they're not the hard-nosed crunching one guy stands out, there's a lot of good guys now, and that's great. Yeah. Because then what it does is it makes us more knowledgeable as spectators and supporters, because now we want to go in those transfer markets. We want to know about this guy in that place. And doesn't that grow the game? Because isn't that the goal? Because so then when we go to the World Cup, we're not just saying, well, and I feel
France
bad about this.
Right.
Right. But then now we're looking
for
it's going to
be France or Brazil. Yeah.
Right. And I just think it's better for the game. So I'm not looking for it, but I think it's unfair that we like to anoint people, and it's our generation. I'm going to own it that our generation has done it. But we got to pull back on that and just enjoy the game and the moments, because we're about to go in a great era. I mean, the one we had, great, but this one I feel like is going to be amazing.
I think to your point, social media can be it's neither good nor bad. It's a tool. It's our relationship with it that makes it good or bad. Like take Fabrizio Romano, for example. With you were talking about how we're plugged into the transfers a lot more than we used to be, and it's because of the fact that, the agents all have Instagrams and social media and are trying to promote their own thing. Of course, Fabrizio he's, fully 100% in on the social media thing where, he's got his own YouTube channel and Instagram, he's always tweeting, and all this. So he's kind of like, like the really big in your face example of it. But I definitely think that because I was listening to, I like to listen to the Football Terrace, and they were talking about on Monday, or it might've been yesterday. He was talking with the Spurs fan. His name is Sava. And they were talking about how back in the day, we didn't talk about transfers. We didn't talk anything about sporting directors. Nobody was discussing, if we could just get, a different, CEO, if we could get the Glazers out and get someone else running the club, if we could just get Stan Kroenke to not, you know what I mean? In the early 2000s, late 90s, were people talking about stuff like that when it comes to the league? No, it was, Arsenal's playing Chelsea at the weekend. We got, Liverpool at the weekend or whatever. It wasn't like, we need to sign Nicolas Anelka from France.
We really help. I mean, again, it's however you look at it. We were one of the first ones to do that and make that. Roman pushed that. He wanted to make that relevant, to bring players to the Prem, to bring players to Chelsea, to buy these guys from international teams, and to bring in every international captain at some point during that era of what you're talking about, the early 2000s, where we didn't really hear about transfers, and then that mid to late 2000s, that was it. It took over by storm. Who's signing who's coming where? Because you have to look at it we had 5 of the international captains.
And vice captains. The rest were vice captains.
Wasn't your whole team captains at one point? Yeah.
We had Germany. We had Ivory Coast. We had England. We had Czechoslovakia at the time. We had every.
Well, Czechoslovakia wasn't around then, but the Czech Republic, you mean?
Czech Republic.
Isn't it Czechia now? It's it's not even
something else now. Yeah.
Is it? I don't remember.
No, I thought they officially changed it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Well, I was going to say, kind of going back to what Lewis was saying, I think we talk about making predictions and things like that. And I think because of the spread out of talent, makes it harder to pick games. I know I was complaining when the Champions League started because I'm looking at the teams and I'm like, I mean, there's some named teams in there, but then, you got Real Sociedad and you've got Lons and you've got, and you're going down the list and you're like, well, it feels off. Like it feels something was missing, but it's because those teams have talent, and as money becomes more readily available, even though the Premier League is pretty much going to be the biggest spenders, typically, maybe
Always.
not this window, but typically,
Yeah, well,
other than Saudi, and who knows what's going to happen with Saudi. I do have to say though that
some of the Chinese Super League thing.
our boy Rom came out yesterday. I think it was yesterday or today, and he said that he believes that the Saudi League will be the top league within the next 2 years.
Who said that?
Romelu Lukaku.
Of course he did. Bless your heart, Rom. Bless your heart, Donkey Foot.
He's just angling for some money at this point.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be
Well,
doing
they play all the games in Europe, yeah.
commercials and whatnot, so he can get some extra cash.
Yeah, well, yeah, if they move their domestic league to Europe and don't play in the sand.
Then everybody will watch it if it's in Europe.
I saw something. Speaking of that, something about that they were going to lift their alcohol rules or something like that, and they were going to start.
Really?
There was going to be a couple places. I'll have to go find it. I saw it this evening, and I was like, "Wait, that can't be right." So
There's no
I want
way.
to check that to make sure.
If they didn't do it for the World Cup,
No, that was Qatar.
That was Qatar. Yeah.
But I mean, it's the Middle East. I mean, they kind of stand on that standard across the board.
Unless you go to Dubai.
Well, it depends on. Yeah. I don't know. I can't actually speak with any intelligence on which Middle Eastern countries are, super Islam or with the Sharia law thing, and which ones are kind of not that stringent. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah. But no, going back to, I mean, as talent spreads out, you might have 3-4 guys that are top tier, but that tier isn't as there's not as big of a gap now. And I think we actually started to see it more on the back end of Ronaldo and Messi because we have Modric. He stepped up and became like, oh man, you had Eden Hazard. I'm trying to think.
I mean, yeah, there were. I think there were plenty of guys like right underneath.
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo, Zlatan would probably be in that category.
And so I mean, and honestly, it's.
I mean, even guys like Rooney. Like, I got mad respect for Wayne Rooney.
Neymar,
Sure,
Suarez.
Sure.
You can go down the list. But
man, I hate Luis Suarez.
Well, he was good in his prime. He was ridiculous.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been allowed to play for his prime, in my opinion.
Right.
We're not out here. We're not cannibals. We're not vampires. That's not what we're doing out here, buddy. Come on.
And you got to throw some racism in there too. We had a little bit of racism in there as well.
Yeah, he's just not a good guy.
No, he's not.
It is what it is.
But I think
he's a magnificent player. I'll give you that. He was fantastic.
But I
that's
agree,
as good as it gets for me.
There's a power vacuum that is begging for that person to step up, and so everybody's just anointing Mbappe as that person, and I think he's the closest that could potentially fill that power vacuum. But until he wins, I mean, he hasn't won a Champions League. He's way behind domestic.
Well, yeah, that's where you got to leave Paris. But let me ask you this: do you think that maybe it's and I don't know where you would draw the line between true football fans and what I'm going to call social media fans? Do you think the people like ourselves who, for example, enjoyed the Brighton 0 Wolves 0 game? Like, you got to really love the game to enjoy. It was a great 0-0 game. I enjoyed it a lot, but you got to really love the game for that kind of thing. social media fans who are trying to troll, whenever Romelu Lukaku misses one on the goal line are not necessarily. Do you think that they're not? Those are the ones that need the next guy, that need there to be a Messi to get on the bandwagon for, because for me, I think, what Mbappe is doing is just fine. I think already his career has been awesome. I think what Haaland is doing is just fine, and I look forward to the potential that he has. I'm incredibly grateful that we've got to see KDB wreck the league for however many years, as much as my tribalism screams in frustration.
Right.
That's still, as a football fan, we've seen some truly magnificent stuff, and we've certainly been blessed, even from these guys that we are necessarily or not, that we are saying are like not second tier, but are like right below Ronaldo, Messi, and the absolute ones that we're all calling GOATs. I think there's probably more fans than we might think who don't need that, just because of the space we're in. We're on YouTube, we're in the social media, spaces. And so we see the people that probably do need someone like that. But I think there's probably maybe even a majority of fans who don't necessarily need that and would not have any problem it being another generation of where there's not necessarily singular superstars, but there are stars, like the R9s, the Ronaldinhos, the Rivaldos, the Roberto Carlos, all kind of that talent was spread out. And I think it is spreading out, like you said, Patrick. So I think that perhaps maybe the majority of fans are cool with the way things are going.
Well, I was going to say, a perfect example of that, not to pull Chelsea into everything, but I think it's a great example. On social media, online, people are saying the team sucks. I don't know why I support them. Fire this person, sell this person, whatnot. But then you
I don't know why you do either.
I know, right?
I'm sorry.
But then you actually hear from people who are going to matches, who are there for match day, and are there some frustrations? Yes, but nobody's calling for anybody to be fired. Nobody's calling for this player to be sold. I mean, the whole Conor Gallagher thing's a perfect example. Like, you have the online social media side saying, yeah, we should sell him. I fall into that region for multiple reasons, not because it's like, he sucks or anything. I just think that we have some players that will be better than him. And then you have the fans who go to games all the time and they're like, he should be captain consistently and he should be this and we should, X says it perfectly. He's, he is Chelsea. And so, I think that there is contrasting in that. And you see it, I saw it as a Chelsea fan when Eden Hazard joined Chelsea. It was like everybody jumped on the Chelsea bandwagon because Eden Hazard's the next thing. And, he's the next thing. And then, games where he started losing and whatnot, and Hazard was never blamed, because he's the guy. He is the guy. He can't be blamed. And I see that now with Chelsea and Enzo Fernandez specifically. I mean, I think he plays quite well. I think he's actually growing into the league. It's taken him some time, but I think he's growing into the league. But there are times where he makes mistakes and you're like, no, you shouldn't be making that. If you're going to be paid the amount that you're going to be paid, you shouldn't be making these kind of mistakes. But you go and you look online and people are like, Enzo was amazing today. And, we lost, but it wasn't because of Enzo or this, that, and the, like, fandom really seeps in online and people get attached to people. And I can,
it's sometimes more about, these days it's more about the player and you're following a player instead of a team.
Right.
Whereas when we all saw a player, we immediately, like back in the day, where we're all like, all right, Henry plays for Arsenal, that's my team.
That's my team.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of, Messi just moved to Miami, well, now I'm a Miami fan.
See, I noticed that with like American football. American football is a lot like that, man. Like people will follow. Oh, Aaron Rodgers left the Packers. Well, now I'm a Jets fan.
Bunch of Brady fans became
Right.
Bucks
What-
fans all of a sudden.
The only reason, and I get it now, like the only reason I was a Seahawks fan because Russell Wilson played for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos. I still wanted to watch Russell Wilson, so now I watch the Broncos. I like Josh Allen. I watch the Bills. He gets traded. I'll probably watch whoever.
I'm just saying that when Henry went to Barcelona in 2007, my reaction was F Barcelona. I don't know.
Yes, my reaction in soccer, in football is I hate you. I will not watch a United game unless they're playing against. I hate.
Yeah, I just saw a thing about RVP saying that United was his home because Arsenal fans were mad at him when he left.
Yeah.
That's
You damn right we were mad at you.
and every right to be.
Yeah, Mount, take notes, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you come to the bridge this year, and
Did
you
you
actually
see
You get clobbered.
the banner they gave Connor? It said the real boy who had a dream.
Yeah, I saw that banner.
Just,
Yeah.
just throw shade at Mount.
At Mount.
Like just to throw shade, no reason, just to.
But
Yeah.
my hope is it goes back to that, or goes to that era that you were talking about, football wise, where okay, this guy gets you to pay attention to this team, but then the team brings you in.
Yeah.
And then and you don't have to be tribal in the sense of you only like that team, because like I can look at Bundesliga, like I can look at Dortmund and like be like, you know what, I'm a City supporter, but what Dortmund does is pretty freaking amazing, man. And you can look at other clubs and say, okay, well, if I'm watching this league, all right, I might be cool to follow this team. And
Hey, AC Milan are fun to watch.
and you just enjoy the game, man. That's where the whole GOAT thing made it about stupid stuff. And I mean, I understand that, you know, we live in a life where we want accomplishments, but it feels like it steals some of the joy from the game, man. Like the MLS can have it, man. Let them have Messi and all that garbage, and
I agree.
we get regular football back in the football we watch, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think another example of, you know, for me specifically, I started following Chelsea because of Didier Drogba. I have no problem like to seriously follow them. I followed them because of Didier Drogba. When he went to Galatasaray, I'm like, no, I'm a Chelsea fan.
I'm a Chelsea
You know?
fan.
Yeah, I will.
You didn't all of a sudden start watching the Turkish Super League?
Well, at that point we were bought into other players. Like I love Frank just as much as I love
Right.
Drogba. I loved Terry just as much as I loved Frank. I loved Hazard just as much as I loved those guys. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
because
for
they
me,
got
it
bought
was
into the club.
Henri brought me to Arsenal, and Wenger Ball kept me there.
Yeah, I could see why. But I think another example of us being more fans of the game than specifically just be focused on players. You know, today I was kicking myself because I didn't realize that Asia Cup games were played like way earlier in the day.
Yeah, you gotta wake up
So I'm
early.
like trying to find a channel, and like I have no rooting interest. I just want to watch soccer. I want to see players play. I want to see how certain teams attack each other, and you know, I love.
Plus, it's been wild. Both AFCON and the Asia Cup have been
AFCON's
nuts.
insane.
It's been awesome.
AFCON has been. Oh,
It's been
man,
great,
it's
dude.
been insanity on steroids. I mean,
It's
again,
been great.
what was that keeper thinking?
Which one is this?
Ghana keeper.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I know but I'm still just shocked.
Like his teammate was looking at him like, bro, what are you doing?
What did you just do?
But I mean, that's my point. Like, I think people get their fandom to start with a player, but the true part of actually becoming a fan is becoming a fan of the team, not specifically a player. You know, say you were a fan of RVP, and you know,
I was.
oh man, he moved to United. Well, I think RVP is more important than Arsenal. No, you
Never.
grew a love for the club because he was a player there, but your attachment was to the club. It was not to a specific player.
Yeah, and there was no chance. There was a snowball's chance in hell. Yo, Brian, you remember Brian from the World Cup videos,
Yeah.
and he's been on here a few times, the Man United fan. I've known him for a long time. And over the years, he has repeatedly told me, hey, man, Arsenal suck. You can United are welcoming new fans. I got this for all the time over the years. United can always use new fans. You know you want to watch United. There was no way ever, not a chance that I was following any player that went to United. You think I became a Chelsea fan after Ashley Cole, who was a hero, was an invincible.
Give you a hug.
You think? No. When he went to Chelsea, I was bitter and disgusted. When RVP went to United, I was disgusted.
How dare you? Right.
Yeah, how dare you? And then go to win a title.
I'll let my boy Ashley Cole get the.
I was
Gross.
Chatting to people earlier, and we were talking about Mason Mount, and I mean, I hope he fails. I mean,
It feels a betrayal. It feels like a betrayal.
I mean, especially knowing how it all went about. Like, he was injured. He finally got the surgery that was supposed to make him completely healthy, and he's looking for his way out in the process of that. And it's like, okay, so Chelsea's going to fix you to go play for another team. Like, don't tell me that playing for Chelsea is your dream. No,
that was RVP.
Make more money, and hey, good for you. That's your choice. But that doesn't. I mean, you lost. I wasn't a huge fan, by the way, but you've lost the following because you betrayed us.
That is exactly what happened with RVP. He was at Arsenal for 8 years, and it was only the season and a half before he moved to United where he really had long runs in the team. Maybe the two and a half seasons before he moved where he had extended runs in the team. He was on the injury table the 5 years before that. And we stuck with you. Arsene Wenger stuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him another contract in the midst of ridiculous injury-ridden seasons. And then you're wondering why after Arsenal and Wenger showed you that kind of loyalty that you just go to our biggest rival?
Yeah.
And you wonder why we hate you?
Yep.
Second biggest rival. I mean, your biggest rival is Tottenham, but
No. Our most hated rival is Tottenham.
Okay, there you go.
And that's with the term rival, loosely used there. United was a rival.
Yeah.
We won titles, they won titles. We won a title, they win. We win an FA Cup, they win. That was in that era, the Wenger-Ferguson era, that's a rivalry. Tottenham finishing 14th in those seasons is not a rivalry. 3-point lane, baby. It was 3-point lane. Come on.
I can't believe you didn't know that one until I told you.
Right? I hadn't heard that one.
I love it.
But I love it. I latched onto it. I love that.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
But yeah, Manchester City is certainly hoping it's 3-point lane tomorrow for them. And of course, Chelsea will be playing Villa. Definitely games to look forward to tomorrow. I'll be tuning in. And we're thankful that you have tuned in this evening. If you've made it this far, of course, thanks for being here and smash up the likes. And of course, we are on our way to 200 subscribers. So subscribe if you are new. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Get the notification bell on if you're enjoying the content. And you will see us next time.